Sprout, let's see if they're going to be able to redeem themselves from the previous map. They didn't really have such a great performance. It was 16-8 in favour of Epsilon. But as always, I'm going to be Dean, and I am joined by Hawka.
Yeah, hello. I'm, again, as always, excited to be here. We'll get to see if Sprout can give us a little bit of a closer game this time around. It is their own map pick here, but Sprout have not played Cash all that often. So I still feel like, personally, I feel like Epsilon will be able to take this, to be honest. I don't feel like Cash is a particularly strong map for Sprout. But at the same time, NATO could certainly open things up with the AWP, as could Smooya on the Epsilon side of things. That could, again, be another pivotal matchup in terms of individual players, and NATO was pretty good for Sprout. However, oftentimes on the T side, Epsilon did a good job at avoiding him.
Yeah, I feel like NATO Safix didn't really get a chance to step it up. We've seen some great plays out of him. I believe even last night he had some great performances up against, was it QB5 if I'm correct? But yeah, he's a player that we would have expected to have maybe shown up a bit more on Cobblestone. Let's see if he's going to be able to do so now on Cash, or Epsilon will be able to finish this one out 2-0. Should be a good game no matter what, and we will be looking to get into the action right now, as we can see the countdown has begun. We are just on 1 second before we should be getting live into this pistol round, and let's see what way that one's going to go.
Here we go. Epsilon get to start on the CT side. And here we will get underway. Sack's going to buy up the kit and the smoke. Crystal will buy up a smoke and a flash, as well as dropping the P250 for NATO Safix. I'm surprised that Speedy is willing to hold this angle back towards T-spawn. It's a very long-range engagement. The USP, sure, might get caught off guard, but the Glock will certainly take a few shots to kill at this range, even if you get the dink. So here we go. We're going to see Epsilon, for the time being, just hold back. No need for them to go aggressive, but they are playing very, very passively towards A, with only T-Sack, or sorry, Sack back towards Truck. And in the meantime, Sprout just kind of probing early on, not really committing to anything. They were holding across the map, but Smooya might get a chance for the entry, and indeed he will get the first kill for Epsilon.
Yeah, good start for Epsilon as Dennis falls in middle. It looks like they were planning on trying to split towards the A bomb site, but that's going to be one avenue of attack now that's been shut down. Instead, Innocent coming from the door. The rest of the players just grouping up out of A main, and right now it is going to be actually a retake setup by Epsilon. They have the defuse kit. They're happy enough with allowing for the bomb site to be taken over, and then just working together to try and actually reclaim that. And with a kit and a smoke, that can be not really that complicated. You can put down the smoke. Usually it's quite hard to get them off the defuse, and with Robin finding that kill onto NATO, it's definitely going to be difficult now for Sprout to try and hold this one down. Let's see if they're going to be able to do it. The Glocks going to be trying to play up as close as possible as they can, and Spitty, he finds that opening kill, peeks out, gets a bit of damage connected, and Innocent able to step it up also. As coming in on the flank now, Cosmian is receiving a lot of damage, and this is getting awkward for Epsilon as Crystal finds another. Innocent able to take down Robin, and now it's going to be all onto Sack, and he's not going to be able to get anything done. He will be denied, and Sprout able to hold off a 3-on-5 afterplant there perfectly. They that to perfection, and it is going to be Sprout picking up this pistol round.
There we go. Sprout managed to get the job done quite convincingly as well. Innocent with the 3K, leading the way for the team. And into this second round, we will see Epsilon buy up. Smooya has the scout, so he can try and hold off towards mid, and that's currently where Sprout look to be pushing towards. No push coming in just yet. Ooh, that shot does land on towards Crystal through the wood. Only going to do a little bit of damage, but Robin, long range with the CZ, will also do damage and even get the frag. Crystal eventually gets the trade, but Smooya, still with the scout, gets the frag on towards Crystal. I think that chest shot was a kill because of the wallbang he landed earlier. And now Epsilon, surprisingly, get the man advantage.
Yeah, NATO will be able to upgrade his way towards that AK, able to retrieve that off the body of his fallen teammate. But still, Epsilon with a man advantage. Not such a bad start to this round by any means. It looks like Sprout will try and make their way over towards B. But currently it's just going to be Sack, and I believe also has some support from Cosmian up in heaven. So let's see how this is going to go. Sprout, though, they still have the weapon advantage. That is a positive. They have the 2 rifles. They have the 1 Mac 10 on Innocent, who currently is just going to be looking over towards middle, and he actually finds that kill there on the Smooya. So a good find. It shuts down that mid hold for the CT side, and a splitting on towards B. Let's see what's going to be found by these CTs that are in position. Surreal not really going to be close enough to actually help them out. He will be rotating in finally, but it's up to his teammates to try and get a couple initial frags into position, and Cosmian, he's done a good job, gets the second even. as he shuts down Spiddy, and Innocent is going to be the last man standing, and Cosmian looking likely to close it out as he picks up the hat-trick. And it is going to be Epsilon once again managing to upset with those pistols, very similar to what we've seen on Cobblestone.
Wow, that is a little bit disheartening for Sprout there. Especially as, to be honest, Epsilon took that round very, very convincingly. After winning the fights towards mid, Cosmin getting those 2 kills made it fairly simple for Epsilon to close it out. Of course, it always looks simple when you win a round like that, and it certainly was difficult for Epsilon to land the shots, but they managed to do it. And now heading into the 3rd round, Sprout have a very weak buy, and Cosmin boosted up over towards B. That's a boost that you don't see very often, but I feel like it's maybe a bit underused. Quite often you will be able to get a free frag, and in the meantime, Smooya is in towards Vents, rotating over. He spots the man, drops down the bomb, and as expected, Sprout getting picked apart as Smooya chimes in with a 3k now. Eventually he does fall, so that M4 is lost. Let's see if Sak can pick it up. No, he doesn't get there in time. So 1 M4 lost, but not a massive deal.
Yeah, they won't really be too bothered with that one. Able to withstand the pistols themselves now, chain a 2nd round on top of that previous one. And now Sprout are going to be looking at an eco. We see at least a couple of pistols being upgraded. Crystal going for a Deagle, Dennis going for a PT50, but other than that, it's just going to be the Glocks. And I don't think Epsilon are going to really have too much trouble overcoming this one. Sprout, their main goal right now, get a couple of kills in the bomb plant if possible. Get the extra economy, drop some weapons from Epsilon and keep their economy modest, as it's not really going to start off so well. Smooya finds one. Cosmian should have spotted that leg. It takes him perhaps a little bit longer to notice that player than I would have expected, but it doesn't matter in the end, he does get it. And Crystal at least chimes in with 1 with his Deeg that he invested into. Gonna get himself a bit of money at least back from that investment. And now a 2-on-4 for Innocent and Crystal to see if they can maybe get 1 or 2 more kills out of this one.
Crystal already has at least 1 kill with the Deeg and nearly gets the 2nd. A little bit of damage on towards Cosmin, who decides to fall back. And that allows Robin to come through and catch them off guard. 3-1 lead for Epsilon. The buy should now come through for Sprout. NATO Suffix could get the AWP, but he would have to go with no Kevlar. He only had exactly 4,750, so he decides not to buy it, goes for the AK instead. That means that Sprout have pretty good utility for this round. However, they are up against the AWP of Smooya, so as they look to go somewhat towards mid, Smooya could certainly be able to pick them off if Sprout aren't careful. They should use their utility though, and I think Smooya might have to fall back if the push comes in, because the boosted players could get up close. In fact, Dennis is already in towards white box. So Smooya needs to be very, very careful now. Dennis is caught out. I thought he was going to be favored at that close range, but Smooya manages to react quickly, and now he falls back, giving his team the man advantage.
Yeah, nice job by Smooya. Dennis was the first player to fall for Sprout, as right now it's not looking good for the German side, as another kill is going to go in favor of Robin, and he even manages to shut down Crystal. Good job by the Swedish player, as it's just going to be Innocent and Spiddy now that remain to try and salvage this round for Sprout, and I don't know how likely that's looking. They will at least be able to retrieve the bomb. Looks like they may try and bring it over towards B, but neither site really right now is looking like a bit of a weakness. They have the 5 players alive, they have plenty of utility still to work with, including 3 Molotovs, lots of flashes, and also a smoke in the hands of Sak, as right now this is looking very unlikely for the Sprout side, and with how passive they're hanging back, they may even be just looking to try and save this one.
Yeah, Sak, though, with only the UMP, doesn't need to hold back. He's not really bothered if he loses that one. It's not a massive investment, so he's going to try and hunt them down alongside Robin, who's already pushed up close. Innocent will have to react quickly here, and he does spot the feet, does get the frag. However, Smooya finds the trade, so now it's just going to be Spiddy trying to hold on to his AK, and I believe he should have been spotted. He's already got 1 kill. There we go. They spray him down. And so Epsilon managed to extend their lead even further. And Sprout again are just going to be down to pistols. And to be honest, I think this is Epsilon really sort of showing us that if they hit their sort of skill ceiling, they are such a threatening team with the amount of talented players on this roster. Sprout just have not been able to handle it so far. Very often it's been Smooya getting the first kill with the AWP. And then ever since sort of Smooya gets that opening pick, the rest of the team closes it out quite easily, it seems, to be honest.
Yeah, Epsilon just once again looking like the better individual players on this map, and I suppose the better team also just having some having some nice aggression early on, just doing a great job so far on both of these maps of just finding those opening kills and ensuring that Sprout are just going to be on the back foot, left in a bad position each round. They never really have time to try and set up what they want into each round. Their plans are kind of shut down before they actually get them put into action, and now it will be a pause coming in, of course. Sprout, they will be most likely just looking for an eco in this round as their economy isn't really looking very strong.
Yeah, remember, heading into the playoffs of this tournament, because this is the last game of the group stages, the playoffs are going to start tomorrow, and I don't think the winner of this this series would play tomorrow, but the winner of this series will be playing against Na'Vi, I believe. So if you think Epsilon aren't really going to be tested in this game, well, they certainly would be tested by Na'Vi, I am sure, especially as they've already lost to them once, I believe. So certainly still a lot to do for Epsilon if they want to get that spot at Katowice. But right now it's looking good for them to, at the very least, make it through to the playoffs, as long as they can continue with this level of performance. Either way, Sprout are going to be leaning over towards A with a fair few players, but they don't have too many nades. Like I said that, Surreal is the only player here. He's had to go passive as he gets the first kill. And they have to concede the bomb plant, but no, Surreal goes aggressive, and his teammates there don't help him out. NATO Suffix is going to be a bit frustrated with that one. There were two players at quad that did not peek, and that means that Dennis now has it all to do. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. He attempts the bomb plant, but that is ambitious to say the least. Surreal hunts him down. Epsilon continue to take convincing round wins.
Yeah, just another good round by Epsilon. Sprout, of course, they didn't actually have the full investment into that previous round, so it's not really too big of a deal. They will now be getting that full buyout. NATO Suffix gets himself the up. The rest of the players are going to have the rifles and also a decent amount of utility to work with, so let's see what they try to go for in this one. So far, they haven't really been having a lot of success on this T-set. Remind there, Sprout once again did win the pistol, and since then, Epsilon, they've just been able to successfully bring back 5 in a row, as it looks like they will try and go for this boost once again. Previously, it was Robin that went up. Will they do the same once again? It seems like Surreal instead will go up onto that position rather, with the AK rather than that silence to M4. As right now Sprout just holding a passive default, waiting to see if they can catch any aggression off guard, and so far it's not really coming in from the Epsilon side. They've gone for instead the boost on the A bomb site, not really looking to push forward, and they're letting Sprout this time, I guess, control the pace of the round.
Yeah, Smooya not going to go for the opening pick just yet. In the meantime, Innocent goes for the spam back. He spotted Robin going for the shots first, but he actually takes more damage than he manages to dish out. So it's Innocent down to 38 HP early on. Robin did take some damage, but certainly won out in that fight, and there goes Smooya yet again, getting that opening kill. I think he may have even done damage on towards Dennis there. I think it might have been a leg shot through the teammate, so it didn't quite kill him. But nonetheless, Smooya gets the first kill of the round, as he has so consistently. And Surreal on the boost spots out the feet of NATO Suffix. He can't do anything with the AWP. With 28 seconds left now, Sprout might start to panic because they really don't have much time left to work with.
Yeah, there's just nothing working out for Sprout so far in this map, just as Epsilon have full control. They're going to try and at least make their way out into this A-bomb site, but look how little time remains, and Innocent, I don't even think he spotted that foot out above the door right there, so this is going to be the round now in favour of Epsilon. Sprout just looking to try and save. They may at least be able to do so. I don't know if Epsilon are going to hunt, but Smooya will actually. Doesn't hit that shot and just kind of throws away the up, so that's at least something for Sprout to find. I don't know if that'll be retrieved. It will eventually be by Spiddy. As into this round now, Sprout, if they want to buy again, they can scrape one out. Crystal will be able to get an AK. He could drop that over to NATO. NATO could maybe drop a Galil back in return, and then Spiddy should be able to swap the op with NATO Suffix. So yeah, that'd be a pretty decent buy. And there you go, that is going to happen, and they're actually even going to get the AK out. No Galils at all.
Yeah, still a pretty good buy for Sprout, but they still need to get another round on the board at some point here. After winning the pistol round, they've had no success since losing 6 rounds in a row. And I think it's shown how dominant Epsilon have been by the fact that Sack doesn't even have a kill yet, and they are 6-1 up. He's not had to do anything because the rest of the team have been showing up in a big way, especially Smooya up there at 11 kills. I mean, he has been playing aggressive, so you'd expect him to frag more. And oh, Surreal through the smoke gets another spray down. This time it's not Smooya opening up, it's his fellow UK teammate Surreal to get the first kill. And Sprout finally get the opening. It's Innocent to go in first. Surreal could still be in a very strong position here. The incendiary goes in, but Dennis comes out on top in that duel. Now the bomb will go down, but it's back to a 3-on-3, and Cosmin pushes through for 2 kills. The bomb is planted somewhat open, but I'm not sure if NATO Sapphics will be able to spot if the defuse were to come through. Could get dicey now for Sprout.
Yeah, I think they may just be able to stick this. They'll be able to see that the little extensions for the defuse are indeed in place, so they know it's being stuck. But the fact that they're just both over an aim in, they can't really move forward. They get the kills afterwards, but that doesn't really matter at this point. Epsilon, they have a lot of economy. They don't care about losing those couple of players, and they're able to get themselves a 7-1 lead. As now Sprout, every time they get close to winning a round, it just somehow doesn't go in their favour. And that time it was thanks to Cosmin, who just pushed forward and found those 2 kills on the players on the bomb site. And yeah, into this one now, Sprout, they're able to buy at least once again, but they need to start picking up some rounds. That's what they really need. Reminder, they lost the first map of this best of 3 series, and the scoreline of that was 16-8, and it's not really looking much better right now.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't mind seeing Sprout switch up the pace at this point. They've gone very, very slowly for quite a few rounds. Maybe going for a fast play would be a decent idea. Maybe even just testing the B site hold. We haven't really seen Sprout go over towards this B bomb site all that much so far, as is proven by the fact that Sak still yet to get a kill. He just hasn't spotted anyone out. There goes Smooya, getting that first pick over towards mid. I mean, Crystal again there, he just has the AK, so I'm surprised that he's facing so confidently. Spiddy, though, with this Molotov could get the trade. Cosmin forced out, the spray comes in, and it's actually the flames to finish Cosmin off. So now Sak might get his chance to get the first kill for himself. There it is, drops down the bomb, and that allows him to call for the rotate, and you can see the rotation coming quite quickly, but Spiddy, speaking of quickly, gets 2 very fast kills. And now Sprout finally have the man advantage.
Yeah, it's going to be up to the UK duo to actually try and retake this round. Try and win it out in a 2-on-3. Surreal going to be wrapping around towards the vent, but he will actually be taken down by NATO Sapphics. So now it's all on to Smooya. He has 1 kill already into this round. Has to try and find the 1 versus 3 and up that to a quad kill if he wants to try and take this one. They have a decent amount of economy still available on the Epsilon side, but I don't know if it's really worth going for. If he can't get a fast opening kill, he may just decide to back off and save this up over into the following round. As Sprout, they should be now getting themselves up to 2 rounds, and they want to get a further. They want to try and remain alive with all these players, and I think Smooya right now is maybe even just looking to try and stop that, try and get 1 more kill out of this, but he won't be able to. Spiddy takes him down, and Sprout get up to 2.
Finally, a gun round goes their way. Having said that, they're going to need a fair few more here on their T side. Epsilon, though, don't really have much money built up, so it's certainly still possible for Sprout, even though it had been very, very convincing for Epsilon up until this point. Not only have they been winning the rounds, but they've been winning them very, very easily. Now is the chance for Sprout to turn that all around, and Smooya in A main might just get caught out here. Crystal comes up close, and there we go. The opening kill comes in. That could prompt them to go for a fast A push, and you can already see Crystal has made his way out to forklift. Surreal is going to win that first fight. NATO Sapphics comes out with the Glock in hand. He is going to get that kill. Somewhat surprising he took that risk there, but it works out for him. Robin eventually gets a kill back. So back into a 3-on-3. Sprout finally having a bit of success getting onto the sites. The question is, can they close out the post point?
Yeah, they do have a slight HP advantage, and not really a lot of utility right now for Epsilon to work with. They have a smoke, they have a couple of flashes, but it's not really perfect. And Robin, you can see he's been so cautious of the flank. He's aware that there was originally a player in this position, but now Sprout have all 3 players ready on the site to try and hold this after plant down. As Epsilon, they're beginning to run out of time, and I don't think they really want anything to do with this one. If they save, they should be able to get a buyout in the following round. They're happy enough with conceding a third over to the Sprout side and focusing on the upcoming gun round, it seems.
Yeah, not an awful idea at this point. I don't know if Smooya will be able to get an AWP. That's something that's up for debate. I think Cosmin could drop it over to him. So that's what I'd expect to see for Epsilon, because they have been a little reliant on that AWP so far. For the most part, in the rounds they've won, Smooya has been getting a lot of the work done. Having said that, he's certainly a player that's very active across the board, because he's also up there with 8 deaths. I mean, he has more deaths than quite a few of the Sprout players so far. So that just goes to show how aggressive he can be at times. A couple of nades go out towards B. Don't do a particularly large amount of damage. Actually, they don't connect whatsoever to start the round. Sprout are going to be holding back. Again, we haven't really seen them go towards B very often at all. They haven't even really had any presence towards B to start the rounds very often. This time Spiddy will stick towards that position, just holding it off. And, well, Smooya there was just kind of standing out in the open towards mid. I mean, I know he likes to be aggressive, but that feels a little bit awkward. He does now get back to cover, so he can fall back quite quickly. And Sprout's still not making any moves just yet, although they are waiting outside the A side of the map.
Yeah, and Epsilon actually playing quite passive at the moment. They have two players extremely passive on B. They just have one connected at Smooya, and then up on the A bomb side is going to be Robin and Surreal waiting to try and hold this one down. They have one Molotov, they have a couple of flashes. Sprout now are going to be making their move, and it's going to be the opening kill going in favour of Dennis. He drops Robin. Crystal looking to try and move onto the bomb site. He will be slowly delayed by those Molotovs, but as he goes through it, he will be able to catch Surreal off guard, who's been blinded perfectly, and Dennis gets another headshot. Smooya falls, and I think that's his round over and done with already. I don't think Epsilon want anything to do with this, as they will be looking to just try and save once again for, I believe, the third round in a row now.
There we go. It is indeed the third round win in a row for Sprout. And I think Epsilon at this point might be forced down to, well, at the very least, a bad sort of force fight, or more likely a straight up eco with a few players upgrading. Cosmine holding off, does get that headshot. However, they will now know where he is, and Innocent dispatches of him. That means that Zach is just going to have to try to save the AWP, and it looks like he will be safe in doing so. However, the question is, what will the rest of the team invest into this round? I think they shouldn't really want to invest too much here. We get to see what happens with that as well, because Zach does have armor, but the rest of the team are, you know, potentially better AWPers. However, he is going to stick with it. Smooya buys up the Kevlar now. He is following Zach around. He wants that AWP. Waiting to see if Zach dies early on, I suppose. Zach not going to get anything done. Smooya's still looking for it, and he will get given it. So there we go. Eventually, the AWP gifted into his hands. Let's see if that was the correct decision, because right now Sprout already gaining ground towards A, and Innocent so quick on that transfer, gets 2 kills. He's hungry for more as he gets a third, denying the AWP of Smooya anything in the round. Cosmine will recover it, but he won't have it for too much longer. He is also picked off, and Sack is back towards Truck. He might also go down. Dennis hunts him, and Sprout almost looking like a different team here. They look so much more confident now.
Yeah, it seems like they've definitely gotten to a bit of a roll now. They've gotten a couple rounds in a row, 4. It's looking much better, as Epsilon up to 7 already. They're in a decent position already, but they would of course want to try and improve this even further, especially with the beginning that they did have being up 7-1. But they get the buy back out now. The only real negative thing about it is that Smooya doesn't have Kevlar, so he will be glass cannon, and that kind of limits the amount of aggression that he's able to go for. Of course, utility is going to do extra damage. He doesn't have the Kevlar to sponge any of that, and there we go. He gets the 1 at least. He will be traded up by Dennis, and Surreal, of course, still in position. He's going to be able to take down 1 at least, and Geeks Out may find another, and he has to support a Robin who drops Crystal. Spiddy is now going to be the last man standing over in checkers. May be able to find Cosmine, as he is with his back exposed, and he will be taken down. But still, 3 players remaining for Epsilon in full control of this bomb over on the A bomb site.
And not sure exactly what Spiddy can do from this position. Having said that, Epsilon are somewhat spread out. Robin over towards Squeaky, Surreal in towards Forklift, and Sack over towards Quad. They are kind of just holding their positions somewhat individually. Having said that, it's still so tough to get multiple kills in this position. We are going to see Spiddy come towards White Box, and he's slowly going to creep his way up Highway. I don't think Sack has spotted him out just yet, so maybe some sort of chance for Spiddy. But now it seems like they realise where he is, and there we go. Surreal going to get that final kill. Sprout, though, certainly still have money. But while we have this short little break, I'm going to give this opportunity to talk to you about the giveaway we have going right now here on eFrag. If you subscribe to the Twitch channel, you will be entered to win, or potentially win, a flip knife, a blue steel field tested. Very nice knife. So make sure to subscribe on Twitch if you want to be entered into that giveaway. And right now, back into the action, because Smooya, again, trying to force the issue. This time around, Sprout managed to finish him off. It's NATO Sapix holding the angle to get the first, but Robin, through the smoke, will get the trade. So even though Smooya goes down, the AWP that he bought still does damage in the hands of Robin.
Yeah, nice find by Robin. They're just shooting directly at the tracers through the smoke. That's the problem when you're spamming with the AK. It gives away your position. As now a 4-on-4. Surreal pushed up quite aggressively towards A main. Could be a bit of trouble if you see someone coming in this direction, also with a player behind them in the door. He could maybe get sandwiched in, but it seems like right now Sprout are going to be just focusing on this B bomb site. And right now it's only Chacker to try and hold this. He gets one, takes down Crystal, and he's still just going to try and stay alive, playing around the smoke on the bomb site. And he will have some support now. Cosmian pushing immediately out from heaven, gets himself at least one, remains alive, and the trades now finally come in. NATO going to be able to drop the player on site, but still a 2-on-3 in favor of the CT side, and Surreal on this flank may be able to take Innocent down. Seems like he was definitely cautious of that position, but Surreal just holding a bit of an off angle, will be able to win it out either way. And now NATO is the last man standing in a 1-on-3. Only 25 points of HP to try and get this one done, and it's not looking very likely right now, as he's just going to be holding back into the toxic room and waiting to see if any mistakes are made by Epsilon, which currently there is none, but he will finally try and get a move on. Has the AK, of course, and is going to begin to make his way in towards B, where Robin with the op is going to be able to take himself another. So good performance by Robin in that round. Picks up the op after Smoothie gets taken down and manages to find himself a couple of kills.
Yeah, very nicely. And again, I mean, I know we keep saying that Smooth is playing aggressively, but it's honestly just ridiculous. He's one of the most aggressive players I've ever seen. He's got 12 deaths right now. He's literally got the most deaths in the game, even though Sprout have won way less rounds. So clearly he is trying to really force the fights, and well, it's been working for Epsilon in terms of the round wins. He's also been getting a fair few kills, a fair few opening kills, so got to give him some credit. Either way, here we head back into the action. It is going to be Sprout with the buy into the last round of the half, as you would expect. They don't quite have the AWP on their side of things. Currently, Smooya is positioned over towards A. Looks like Epsilon are just going to hold across the map, and Sprout are going to do the same. Not too much action happening at the start of the round, and I think Sprout now might go for the mid presence. The smoke has come in. With Smooya not being here this time around, it might be a little easier to gain ground towards mid, especially as Cosmin is mollied out of the vents.
Yeah, Sprout desperately trying to pick up this final round in this first half if they want to actually make it a decent one. Want to deny Epsilon from getting up to double digits already, as right now they are going to be able to claim some mid control. We do see Dennis though, gets caught off guard. Smooya just remaining aggressive, able to find one, and Cosmian also taking down NATO Safix. This is not the start of this round you would have wanted to have seen as a player on Sprout or one of their fans, and it just continues to get worse. Surreal going to be able to drop Innocent, who tries to make that play outdoor. They were desperate at that point to try and find a kill somewhere, to try and get some control, and it just didn't work out. So now it's only Crystal and Spiddy that remain. 2-on-5. Get that first opening kill at least as Spiddy drops one, and is going to continue to face the vent where he's able to take down Cosmian also. But Smooya, of course, is still alive with the AWP, and now Crystal is the last man standing, and Smooya, the confidence that is shown as he just drops out of vent and takes that final kill. And Epsilon reached their way up towards double digits in this first half.
Yeah, there we go again. Epsilon looking very, very good right now. I mean, again, considering Sprout won the pistol round, I know that Epsilon forced them straight back, but Sprout will probably be slightly disappointed they couldn't get more done. And here we go. Both teams slowly but surely going to ready up. We will get to head back into the action. Sprout probably going to need this pistol round, to be honest. And as I was saying, I was kind of surprised somewhat to see Sprout pick Cash here, because I don't really think that they're necessarily... It's an okay map for them, but I don't really necessarily think it's one of their best maps. I mean, generally they seem to play it in best of ones as kind of that decider map from the few times they've played it in the past. And they've only even played it once in this year. That was in an ECS qualifier against Avengers, another team with a couple of UK players, but that's a mixed team at a much lower level. So yeah, I was kind of surprised to see Sprout be willing to pick Cash this early on, and it doesn't seem to have worked for them. I'm not sure where else they could have gone, to be fair, and maybe they're just trying this because they know Epsilon haven't played it, but it's certainly not seemed to work out for them nonetheless.
Yeah, certainly not. We saw 4 rounds at one point being chained together by Sprout, but other than that, they didn't really have any success. Of course, taking the pistol round and still only ending it with 5 is just not really good enough. Epsilon were just on such a roll, especially early on, and they were able to take that control back also late in towards it for the final 3 rounds to take those, and Now, going into this pistol, it's going to be extremely important for Sprout to pick up. If they don't, then they're not really going to have any room to work with to try and get the comeback, as Epsilon, a reminder, they did take that first map of the series, and right now it's looking good with a 10-5 scoreline going in towards the second pistol round. As let's see what both teams decide to invest into. Crystal, he gets the defuse kit along with a couple of flashes, and over on the T side, Robin is going to be the man who gets utility. The smoke and a Molotov will be available for Epsilon to try and use in this upcoming pistol round. As let's see where they decide to take it, at least with the players. And right now, it looks like they will be looking to go for a quick boost. We could see a split towards the B bomb site, I believe. As Robin, just outside of B, going to be looking to try and cross into the toxic room. We'll have a smoke and a Molotov for that bomb site, as right now Crystal just gets himself some info. Peeks in towards middle. He goes to try and face this aggressively with a pop flash. He's yet to get any kills, nor really any damage. As now it will be the Epsilon side just grouping up and hitting this B bomb site, and it's going to be a difficult hold for Sprout. But then again, they've rotated a lot of players into position. The smokes for now will be hindering their vision, but they look to try and run through. Smooya, let's see if he's going to be able to get this done. He finds one eventually, but they're traded back in favour of Sprout. Spiddy stuck in the open, but it doesn't matter. He's winning the fights anyway, and he may even be able to find another as he shuts down Robin. And now it's all on the Cosmian in a 1-on-3. Glock available, the bomb dropped in the open. That's going to be very difficult, as right now Sprout are just beginning to back off and play this a little bit more safe, making sure they can find the trade. Spiddy, he may be found, but still Cosmian, two more to try and take down. And Crystal from above, the step should have been heard. He should be aware that this player is above him. Doesn't matter though, Crystal is able to win that out. And Sprout, they win a very crucial pistol round.
Well, the pistol rounds, they did win in the first half as well. However, they lost against that force buy. So they need to make sure they don't suffer to a similar fate here, because Epsilon will certainly be buying up the pistols. Cosmian is keeping $1,000 in the bank, but everyone else has fully invested. And Sprout, I mean, you can see they do want to make sure they don't lose to the pistols this time around. They have gone for a fair few rifles. Except that Robin with the CZ is going to try and get up close over towards B. Epsilon, again, just spreading across the map. I think you're going to see this quite often from the Epsilon side, looking to try and work a pick. And there we go. Surreal does get the opening frag. Spiddy taken down first. They're not going to be able to recover the gun by any stretch, but it is the M4 dropped. And we're just going to see Epsilon now slow things down. And there goes Dennis recovering the M4.
Yeah, Sprout, even with losing that first player, hopefully for their own sake, it shouldn't be too big of a deal. We do see actually only one player on the A-bomb site itself currently. Innocent, he's on highway, so he is in a position to try and support. But this could get dangerous, as right now Epsilon, they are going to be grouping up to try and take over this A-bomb site, and a bit of presence also being shown on mid. We're going to have to see a lot being done by NATO Sapix in towards quad, and there we go, Surreal hits another great headshot. Cosmian drops NATO on the bomb site, and now it's looking scary as the bomb will be planted. Weapons, or rather a weapon has been retrieved as a UMP was picked up by Cosmian. I'm on a two-man advantage for Epsilon. This is going to be a very difficult retake for Dennis and Crystal. Let's see if they're going to be able to get it done. They have the defuse kit. They have a bit of utility in terms of a smoke and a flash, but it's not going to be easy by any means. And Crystal having no luck. Neither is Dennis in finding these openings. And I think because of that, they are just going to back off and try and save these weapons. And Surreal looking to try and hunt them down, it seems. He was trying to get that. All he has is the deagle, of course. It's not really too big of a deal if he loses that. But I think they are just going to instead exit through a main, where Crystal, he hears the footsteps, and it's getting a bit scary there for him. But he will, hopefully, for his own sake, be able to save this FAMAS. I don't think he's going to be hunted too really aggressively with the T side.
Yeah, somewhat surprisingly, Epsilon, even though they win the round, won't to save all that much. Only the one UMP. However, unfortunately for Sprout, the exact same thing has happened to them from the first half, where on the T side, they won the pistol, and then they lost against that second round buy. And, well, that's, again, really devastating for them. They've gone for the force here. They've only got really the two rifles to work with alongside the pistols. And Epsilon, even though they didn't get to save too much, do have the money for 4 AKs. So into this 18th round. Unfortunately for Sprout, this is a round they really almost have to win at this point. And they only have 2 rifles to do so. Dennis is out towards mid, but Surreal has got that first kill over towards B. Spiddy gets one back, but Smooya tapping away, takes the head off of Dennis. So it is the man advantage for Epsilon. And look at Sprout, they are all in towards mid, completely giving up the bomb sites, and yet still that's not really going to work. Spiddy does get to recover the M4, but not for too long. Smooya takes him down, and it's only NATO left.
Yeah, and Epsilon having a fairly easy time in this round. Oh, he has an M4 at least, but he has been spotted and he's trapped in a little corner. Somehow gets up on top of the tree position, but it is still going to be difficult for him to actually be able to fall away. And as you can see, Cosmian able to win that battle out just about, survives with 12 HP. And Epsilon in that round, they do keep 4 players alive. And now Sprout, they will be just facing an eco. All they have is the pistols to work with. And while we are just going to have an eco round coming out for Sprout, I just want to go ahead and tell everyone that there is going to be a giveaway on this upcoming Sunday. It will be just after the grand finals of this Farmskins Championship number 2, and it will be for a Flip Knife Blue Steel field tested, and all subscribers will of course be entered into that one. So if you want to get yourself a chance to try and grab a knife, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. But for now, Epsilon shouldn't really have any trouble being able to overrun the CT defense. Only pistols, mostly just the USPs, as Crystal is the only one to get a P250, and Spitty once again actually goes for the Zeus. He seems to like this weapon.
Yeah, he hasn't really been able to do anything with it so far. But we'll get to see if it works out for him this time. I mean, this has been really rough for Sprout, though. I think it feels like it's just one of those days for Sprout where nothing really goes your way. Even when you get a few rounds, even when you get the pistol, it just goes back in favor of Epsilon. And, I mean, sometimes you're just going to have a bad day. You're just going to have a poor performance. And Sprout, unfortunately, I mean, to be fair, they've come up against a very on-form Epsilon side, so can't take too much away from Epsilon. They've certainly showed up in a big way, and Sprout will still get the bye together. They will try to keep themselves in with a chance. Remember, the last spot at IEM Katowice is up for grabs for the winner of this overall tournament. So if Sprout want to get to IEM Katowice, they're going to have to turn this around sooner rather than later. Cosmi gets the first kill, but NATO is in position for the trade. And Smooya there, again pushing out by himself, gets caught off guard. Having said that, they have sold a bit of a fake over towards A, so the bomb now will come back towards B, where the only player here is Crystal for Sprout, and he's about to get mollied out of position.
Nice nade also goes in, but I don't think it's going to do too much damage. Well, the second from Surreal May, and the spam is going to be what finds the kill. Headshot comes in for Surreal, and the B-bomb site is going to be taken over by Epsilon. The bomb will be planted, and it's also in a good position here for B main to allow the players to try and play time, to try and run that down. And now a 3-on-3 retake for Sprout to try and overcome. Spitty has the defuse kit, but they only have one flash in terms of the utility, so let's see how they're going to use that to try and actually get in towards the bomb site. As it looks like 2 will be coming in from the CT spawn. NATO with the op, yet to begin to push. Throws in the flash, but it's not really going to be correct in terms of the time, and Surreal is going to be able to drop Spitty, and I think because of that, Sprout already looking to try and save once again, and with the current scoreline, this is not really looking so good for Sprout. It is going to be Surreal even denying Dennis to save, and I think they know NATO Suffix's position, and knowing that he has the AWP means that they may actually just try and hunt this one down aggressively, try and even pick that up for Smooya. It's going to be difficult now for NATO to stay alive. He gets himself one at least, but he may be traded out as he gets a second, and somehow he hasn't been taken down. Robin, he's not going to be able to get it, so NATO Suffix somehow saves the op.
It's the small wins that count at this point. NATO is going to take one of those small wins in terms of keeping the AWP for the upcoming rounds. You never know, that could make a difference. Ooh, did you see how Robin was lining up that smoke all the way back on towards the box at T-Spawn? That was quite cool to watch. And they're going to go for the mid play. I don't know exactly if the smokes have landed where they want them to. I think that was a T-smoke landing up on Boost. Seems a little bit strange, but nonetheless, Sprout don't have any presence out towards mid, except for NATO Suffix holding back from the A site looking in towards Highway. So Epsilon will be able to gain the ground they were looking for, and we'll get to see what they now choose to do with it.
Yeah, just being able to take this towards mid basically for free. Sprout not really going so aggressive. They don't have the perfect weaponry, instead just sitting back on the bomb sites, and early on the damage will be exchanged fairly evenly. Crystal able to connect one bullet onto Smooya, while the AK also returns a single, as now it is going to be the B-bomb site hit from Spitty. He's in a great position, and he's actually putting up some great numbers. He's able to take down 2 quick kills, and Dennis chimes in. Spitty chimes in with another to claim that hat-trick for himself. It's all going to be on the Cosmian now. Left alone in a 1-on-3, and it's not going to be easy by any means, and Suffix shows you why. He's going to go ahead and shut that one down with the AWP, and Sprout get themselves up to 7, but still only working by half the scoreline of their opponents, who still have economy to buy into this one, so need to try and chain this together now, Sprout. They don't have a lot of room to work with, very similar to the previous map, and it's just going to be still a long road ahead.
And you got to remember, Sprout in this tournament did already beat Epsilon in the opening best of 3. So they've got to think to themselves, we are certainly capable of competing with this team. They've just got to focus on getting back into it, but the boost comes in, and Smooya gets that first kill. NATO didn't see it coming, and the nade also came through to deny the AWP from being picked up. That is just absolutely a perfect start for Epsilon. I don't know if that nade was planned, but if it was, fair play. The AWP is now recovered, but Surreal has already got the kill up towards B. Innocent finally gets that AWP into his hands and gets a frag with it. But as the B push comes in, Spiddy might just get caught. Indeed, he does. Surreal with a second headshot. And, well, Epsilon just, again, demolishing Sprout.
Yeah, just a reset coming in for Sprout this late into the game is the worst thing that could possibly happen if they're about to lose this round. If they lose this round, which is looking really likely with the B bomb site being under the control of Epsilon, it's just going to be so horrible. They'll be scraping a bye together in the following round. They may be able to drop an M4 over. Innocent should be able to, as long as he's able to survive himself. But it's still going to be quite difficult. It's going to be 8 rounds in the difference. 8 rounds is what Sprout will need to pick up in a row to actually keep themselves alive, as Epsilon are just about to claim themselves serious point.
Well, Epsilon, as you said, are going to get up to map and series points. And remember, again, as I was saying, managed to beat them in the opening matchup of this very group. So I think this does show the improvement for Epsilon. They've managed to certainly be able to improve themselves quite dramatically throughout this tournament. And that's certainly something you'd expect from Epsilon. They're still a very, very fresh, very new lineup. And so got to give them credit. They've certainly shown that they have the potential to compete. And to be fair, I think they've still got a lot of improvement they could possibly get done. I mean, their T side, for example, is still fairly reliant on just spreading out into defaults and making individual plays. If they manage to get a few more executes into the mix, just have a few more options, then it feels like they could certainly do even more damage. So certainly a lot of potential for this Epsilon lineup, and they could even improve further. But for the time being, they don't need to improve it further to beat Sprout by the looks of things. Having said that, Crystal has got the first kill. He went very aggressive out towards B. That's a lot of ground game for Sprout. They're going to realize there's no presence from the terrorists out towards that B side of the map. So that should give them the information they need, because Crystal is just going to lock this angle down.
Yeah, it was Epsilon right now. Looks like they will just try and group up over towards the A-bomb site. Probably the correct decision considering the aggressive push right now from Crystal. He has a lot of control over towards B. Likely if they did go back in this direction, even after trading out that kill, it would be difficult because so much time will be allowed for the CT side to rotate into position. So it looks like Epsilon will try and commit to the A-bomb site, and that's actually a great start to it. Cosmin going to be able to find that opening headshot. Molotov going down towards Quad. And let's see if they have anything to try and clear out NBK, as it doesn't seem like they do. So there's a chance maybe for something to be found still. But Robin, he gets NATO. Sapphic going to be Dennis to only find one before falling. And it's looking extremely difficult now for Sprout, as they're down to only Crystal, who remains alive in a 1-on-3. And he's left to try and clutch it, and he finds himself another kill at least. He will be up towards 2 in this round. But he needs to double that if he wants to actually be able to keep his team alive in this series and in this tournament, of course, as he is going to be dropped by Smooya. So in the end, Epsilon get themselves a 16-7 victory and claim themselves what I believe is a pretty easy 2-0. And let's see what the analyst desk thinks about that.